State of Slovenes, Croats and Serbs was not a state in regular sense of the word, since it lacked international recognition, but it did hit all three boxes required to be a state. It had territory, population and central government exercising its powers over the first two conditions, but we will refer to it as entity rather than state. A short background on this entity. Austro-Hungary was a multinational state, denying autonomy for its numerous nations except to the Germans and Hungarians. Therefore, a lot of unhappy people. To the south, South Slavs, Slovenes, Croats, Serbs wanted to form its own state, some arguing for staying inside the empire with the newly formed state, and some arguing for unifying with the South Slavs outside the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In either case, at the end of World War I, when Austro-Hungary was on its feet, they saw a perfect opportunity to either leverage the governments in Vienna and Budapest or just to break loose from both of them. There are two dates of importance when it comes to forming this transitional entity. On 19th of October 1918, the Central Committee of National Council of Slovenes, Croats and Serbs, SHS for short, rejects the manifesto of federalization of the empire by Emperor Karl and demands the unification of all South Slavs, Slovenes, Croats and Serbs of Austro-Hungary in one sovereign state. On 29th of October, the Parliament of Kingdom of Croatia declares all the lands of Kingdom of Croatia to be independent from Austro-Hungary and to join to new state of Austro-Hungarian South Slavs. The state of SHS is said that it was governed by national councils. They were the political organizations uniting parties who were arguing for unification of all South Slavs into one country. Each part of this newly formed state-like entity had its own national council, with the supreme one being National Council of the SHS, with Central Committee as its main organ. There were also local committees with National Guardsmen under their control. In October of 1918, the National Council declared a set of rules of its organization and conduct. Therefore, they declared that all the regions of the states will send members to the parliament, each member representing 100,000 people. Slovenia would send 14 members, Croatia, including Dalmatia and Istra, would send 38 members, Bosnia and Herzegovina 18, and the South Slavs from Hungarian part, mainly Vojvodina, would send 10 members. So in total 80 members, with possibility of expanding it for members of each regional parliament and government. But interestingly enough, one of their rules of conduct said that the sessions will be every 3 months, indicating that they thought this newly formed entity might be a final form of their self-governance without unifying with the rest of the South Slavs, living outside Austro-Hungary, meaning Kingdom of Serbia and Kingdom of Montenegro. The Central Committee, with presidency at the top, was acting as a government. When it came to defensive affairs, the committee requested all demobilized veterans of World War I up to age of 40 to return into active service until further notice. The war was over. However, as a part of falling empire, they were seen as praise for its neighbors, especially Italy, who started taking over eastern parts of Adriatic coastline, seeing it as a fitting reward for all the bloodshed they went through. On November 1st, 1918, the Italian Navy undertook a raid on Pula, where most of Austro-Hungarian Navy, now in the hands of state of SHS, sinking over 3,000 tons of steel at the bottom of Pula port. Finding itself in a peculiar situation, the government was split on how to handle the future of this country. Majority was a proponent of unifying with the Kingdom of Serbia. First, because they were also South Slavs. Second, a lot of Serbs were already living in the state of SHS. And last but not least, Kingdom of Serbia was on the winning side of this war. That fact could be used to curb the ambitions of Italy in international circles. The next question about the unification was what the future country should look like. While one side was saying it should be a union of two equal partners, somewhat of a dualistic monarchy, confederate state, some were proposing federal state, and some were promoting unconditional unification, which would probably mean unitarian centralized state. The last fraction prevailed. However, to satisfy the opposition, the delegation that was sent to Kingdom of Serbia was given instructions to request the need to postpone the constitution of this new state till they form a constitutional assembly from the members of state of SHS and Kingdom of Serbia. However, the request was ignored, and state of SHS was unconditionally joined with Kingdom of Serbia in a new state, Kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes, on 1st of December 1918. A one-month state was over.